Hello and welcome back to Madden Storylines. This is episode 3 and this week we play the Dolphins. Starting this week is where we're really going to start getting into looking at prospects that are coming out of this draft, as well as we're going to start talking about financials here very soon. But before we can do any of that, we have to see if there's going to be any major changes to our team before we start signing contracts. So let's hop over to the wheel. Now, the wheel has been shuffled, and if you remember from last week, we landed on a nothing, which means that nothing has been taken off of the board, and now there is less chance that nothing will happen, as, of course, in the real NFL, you see news lines every single week, maybe not for the same team, but you do see crazy things happen. So, hopefully we'll get something pretty cool here on this wheel. I'm hoping for a positive outcome. I am going to add some more here soon. I came up with some new ideas, but, right now it can be anywhere from here. You can kind of see it, but it's under my face cam. Like an opponent's player gets suspended, so basically we force the other team to bench someone, or an underdog story where we take a low overall player on our team, force them into a starting role, and give them some minor stat buffs, and then basically from there it's a challenge. Based on stats, they upgrade faster. It can be anywhere from there to possibly just a superstar on our team wanting to just leave. They've had enough, which I don't know what you would have to do to want to leave a 2-0 team right now, but let's see what we get. So it looks like we're going to be landing... Oh! I love this one. Okay, so this is breakout practice, which is a very positive one we can land on. So basically what's happening here is the breakout practice can be one of two things, and we get to decide because this is individual. If it was random, we'd spin another wheel. But basically, there's 3 types of practice that can happen. There's strong practice, which allows us to upgrade one player by 1 overall. There is this one, which is breakout practice, which either allows us to upgrade a player by 3 or upgrade their dev trait by 1. If we do the dev trait, we do have to spin a wheel of players. And then the last one is I understand it now, which is basically we get to upgrade a player by 5. And they get a development trait upgrade. There's only one of those on this entire wheel. And basically, it's going to be really hard to land on it, especially as we keep adding more stipulations. So, breakout practice. Let's see who we're going to upgrade and how we're going to do it. Now, here we're looking at our team. We could go offense. We could go defense. Honestly, we could go... and spin the wheel, but I think we could do with probably an overall upgrade. Now, the thing is, we can't edit any physical stats, meaning we can't upgrade speed, acceleration, any of the things that in real life you really wouldn't be able to do just by having a stellar practice. And really, these things like this wouldn't happen that quickly in real life either. But we can upgrade their player skills, such as like deep route running, coverage skills, finesse moves, anything of the like. So let's give it a second. I'm going to look this over, and I'm going to decide if I want to spin a wheel to get a dev trait or just get some upgrade points. All right, ultimately, I could not find a wheel for the Seahawks players, and I don't feel like putting all of those players into a wheel right now in the middle of me recording. So instead, we're going to go back to the position wheel, and if we land on a position, we get to choose someone from that position, and ultimately, I did decide for this one because our team lacks superstars. We have an X Factor in DK Metcalf, and then that's it. You have your superstars in Reek Woolen and Kenneth Walker, and sorry about that. And that's pretty much it. So I thought we could definitely use with a little more superstar on our team. Now, sucks that we miss out on that 3 upgrade, but hey, sometimes abilities make up for that. So let's see who we're upgrading. And it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a fantastic one because I think we're going to upgrade a player who 100% deserve to be superstar or higher just out of the box. And of course, the player I'm talking about is Devin Witherspoon, who, in my humble opinion, deserves to be a superstar right out of the box. He's an absolute game wrecker. He knows how to make an offense hurt. And so that is a ginormous, amazing upgrade that we get to have now. Devin Witherspoon being our cornerback 1 is also going to have abilities. And what I would like to do is give him some inside and outside shade, and then pick artist. Help with that coverage, and then, have some great returns. We saw last week that he was able to take one back to the house. Now, while I'm here, let's make sure, because I didn't see Reek having any abilities, and no, they just left his open. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to give him some zone stuff, though, of course, he would never really be in a mid zone, so let's take that off. Give him tip drill, because really, we are stellar in the turnover department right now, and I don't see any reason why I'd want to change that. Let's double check a couple more abilities just to make sure they're... See what I mean? That, like, they don't always give them the abilities when they can unlock them, and I'm sure that's just because that's the way it is. All right, and that's our storyline for the week, as we are going to start looking at financials, see what we have. Now, my face cam is covering something that I hate to see. And when I show you, you're also probably going to be a little upset. I'm now over on the other side, and as you can see, that cap room there says negative $4.2 million. We are already in the hole, and there are some players we need to re-sign. Ernest Jones being a huge one. Only 24 years old, 81 overall, and is an absolute monster as a linebacker. Now, of course, some of these other guys, I'm more than happy to let go. Jaron Reed, I love him. I'm letting him go. Trey Brown, he's gonna go. Pretty much all these other guys past here, I'm letting them all go. Other than I'm not going to accept his option, Charles Cross' option, because I think by next year I can re-sign him for cheaper than if I put off another year. So I am going to let his option slide, but I am going to re-sign him next year. Hopefully he agrees to a re-sign. So that's what we're dealing with financially. So let's look at who's eating up all of our cap. Now here I have it sorted by savings, how much we would save if I were to either cut or trade this player. And it is 100% the suspects that I thought it would be. We have Geno Smith, who I could save a lot of money, but when you're 2-0, and Geno honestly has been really great in our franchise so far, you don't want to get rid of him mid-season and have to let Sam Howell do his thing, you know what I mean? So, honestly, that's not an option. Draymond Jones, I believe he's injured, so we can't release him, which is just so detrimental because I would release him in a heartbeat to save that money. What else do we have? Let's get back in there. Obviously, DK, he's going to be a long-term solution at wide receiver, and I would like to keep it that way. I'm definitely not looking at getting rid of DK anytime soon. Jaron Reed, yeah, obviously we're going to lose him at the end of the season. We might see about seeing what we can get for him here in a moment, see what we can do to get him off our team, maybe get some draft capital. Obviously, we need Jason Myers, Charles Cross, these guys. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I thought we'd see Tyler Lockett on here as a potential player that we could ship off, but no. It looks like it'd be more worth it just to keep him for the rest of the year and then possibly see about, honestly, getting rid of him at the next season. So let's go back to Reed and see what people are offering for Reed, or kind of what his value is right now. So I'm looking at the packages that we can get for him right now, and none of them look particularly appetizing. Here we get some late round picks, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's really not that great. Fabian Moreau. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about any of these players. Let's see if anyone gets yellow or green interest on him. I don't think anyone's getting green interest for a 30-year-old, 77 overall. But maybe someone has yellow interest on him, which as I scroll through here pretty fast, I see solid red everywhere. Yeah, so maybe what we do right now is we let him hang for just a moment. And we start looking at shopping him off maybe in a package deal towards the trade deadline. Now, one thing I did mention that we would work on is some staff points. And when it comes to me, I'm 100% spending them. I know this is anticlimactic, but I'm 100% spending them on the ones that make the other talents cost less. That just makes sense to me. Overall, you're going to save yourself more staff points over the course of time. All right, and in our weekly strategy here, we are going to defend the medium pass as suggested, but I once again want to try to run the ball. We have been really successful this season at running the ball, and as mentioned, I want to keep it that way. Now, what I'm hoping is we don't have any major injuries in the practice, which we will quickly find out. As our offense is good to go, and our defense is also good to go. So I would like for us to keep things the way they are. Now, finally, let's do our regional scouting. We'll jump into the game. Here we are in our regional scouting, as we are going to look at some different things. Here, I would like Kent Clements, who's our wide receiver tight end guy. I do want him to look at wide receiver. We do need another wide receiver, as Tyler Lockett is no longer going to be our long term. Here, I absolutely love for offensive tackle to be in play, as we get that bonus, as well as we can move offensive tackle inside to guard where we really need it. Here, I wish I would have managed scouts on week 1 like I should have, but instead, what I like here, because the strengths of this Southeast region is cornerback, right tackle, left tackle. And honestly, we don't really need any of that. And it's weak and outside linebacker. So let's go ahead and do it as a safety and see if maybe we can get middle linebacker or something like a kind of bigger, more physical safety to play inside as kind of a tricky thing we can do. And here, honestly, cornerback, right tackle, wide receiver, I kind of like the idea. I know it's not one of the strengths, but it's also not one of the weaknesses. Defensive tackle for this, as Timmy Summers does have expertise there. And then here, when it gets to it, we're looking at quarterback. We're looking to replace Geno Smith, long-term success. We already have the team around him, so we'd be able to have success. All right, we play the Dolphins. Now, in real life, this was a much easier task than what I imagined it will be in Madden, as they were missing their star quarterback in real life. But in this game, Tua is perfectly healthy. Turns out, video game Tua knows how to slide. Sorry, I said that. All right, let's get this return going and see if we can start the season 3-0. All right, we're going to try to see if we can let Kenneth Walker eat here early, as he had to leave the last game with a bruised sternum, I believe it was, as he's going to get off to a decent start. Of course, our options behind him have been equally as good. Charbonnet and Kenny McIntosh have been holding it down, as we're going to get great blocking, especially from DK, who came in and blocked, who I believe was a linebacker. Now, I love running this RPO, and especially if the numbers work out, which if that linebacker stays there, we have the numbers as long as JSN blocks. And we're going to toss it, and JSN is not going to block the right guy. He's going to go up the field and block the safety, who's the guy that Tyler Lockett could probably make miss. But it's still good yardage. We pick up 6 on first down. And here, of course, we're going to just keep running the ball, making it a very exhausting drive for the Dolphins. And as I constantly say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We're going to keep running this ball until they can show they can stop us. And even there, on not the best cut in the world, we still pick up 4. All right, and we're going to run it right up the gut here, as we're going to bring the trap. And man, that's another first down, as our O-line, regardless of their overall, which is quite low, they have been blocking like no tomorrow, which I cannot say the same thing for the real-life Seahawks, which, of course, makes me very sad as we try to cut to the outside and only pick up 1, so now we might maybe see about passing the ball or at least trying to get something in the short pass. And, of course, I lied, as we are going to come out here and try to surprise them on second down with a run and then go pass if we need to, as it does look like they were a bit surprised, and now it's 3rd and 5, which makes it a little bit more manageable, especially if we go in the short passing game, as I'm going to go to one of my favorite concepts, the bench. And as you guys know, if DK's not there, Barner might be there, and if he's not there, then Walker's definitely there. As Walker's stuck blocking, but hey, Geno's going to be wide open to scramble and slide down to avoid a hit and possible fumble. I know it's not everybody's thing, but I'm big on the run. I love to run the ball. I think it is one of the best things you can do in football, as it absolutely just lets your opponent know that you are here to make their day miserable. As basically through this drive, you have seen almost nothing but runs. Even the pass play we scrambled out, as I didn't see anyone open enough to throw to, and they're starting to catch on. So here we are going to go back to the pass plays. But here's the thing about running the ball early is you get into third and somewhat manageables or third and manageables where you can go short concepts like a mesh. Where here, once again, we have seen some success. I'm trying to slip past this, and I don't think we're going to get there, as I didn't see anyone open, and I was a little scared to throw the ball. And, you know, 4th and 5 is a lot different than 4th and 2 or 4th and 1. We're going to have to take our 3. As the ball is up, and it is good. We go up to a 3-0, and that drive is on me, as I felt a bit scared in the pocket and scrambled out and couldn't pick up any yardage or make something happen with an improvised play. As we get a pretty good coverage on the special teams, is they're going to start at the 24, so behind where they would have been last year with the touchback. And last week, we know our defense was lights out. So we are going to see if we can keep that, as they're going to try to run to the outside with a toss play and get nothing. Yeah, I've definitely been really impressed with the way our defense has played so far, and especially our linebackers / Kobe Bryant playing in the box, as he makes a great play, takes him down for only a 2-yard gain, and now they're dealing with 3rd and long. Here, we're guessing pass, and we're going to try to keep everything covered up and see if we can get off the field and get back there and hopefully take a 2-score lead. And that's exactly what's going to happen, as he's forced to throw it away. And we're going to see the Dolphins punt. Okie dokie, we are starting here at the 29-yard line. Not the greatest spot in the world, but we started a drive one time at the 2. So let's see what we got here on this RPO, as it looks like it's going to be covered. And we're just going to push forward for some yards, and Ken refuses to go down. Picks up 6, and we have an injury. And that is going to be one of our offensive linemen. Oh, that's tough. Here, we're going to hit Lockett underneath, and he drops the ball, as Laken Tomlinson was the guilty party to go down. Now, he has a low injury risk, and I'm not too worried about Laken Tomlinson. We're going to keep him in the game and see if he can just finish the game out without broken ribs. We're going to do a screen here to Walker, and he gets caught up on the blocks, and offensively, we are not off to a hot start. We're going to punt this thing away. As I have a terrible punt, but it's going to bounce right into him, which kind of keeps him in front of us with, 99 speed. Tyreek Hill not getting a head start, I guess, could be much worse. All right. Tua is definitely probably going to look to get Tyreek Hill involved at some point, as he's going to go to who I believe is Geno Smith. Is that who I'm looking at? Yes, it is. And they pick up a 1st down, and they're looking to get things moving. All right. So that was a big play where, honestly, in a zone, it was kind of inexcusable that our guy in the flat wasn't in the flat. Where was he? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm just going to peek real quick. We do have players in the flats, and so I shouldn't see a wide open flat if they go that way. Okay. Good. Now here, they're coming out in I form, so I'm kind of wanting to blitz. Now I'm going to tell him to play over the top just in case, because I don't want to give up big yardage. And, man, good play call there, as Byron Murphy's going to get in there and get a TFL. As in real life, he is a disruptor. Not really big in the stats department, but he definitely, eats up blocks and does his job. As that's going to be a touchback, and we get to start at the 20 instead of the 2. Now here, we need to do a much better job in the passing game. We have been covered up. And if you don't agree with me, then I'm sorry that I'm missing wide open reads, I guess. As they were ready for the run on 1st down. And let's come out, they've seen us go run 1st down, 2nd down. Let's come out and play action, see if maybe DK can burn his guy, or if we can get the tight end over the middle, and that's exactly where I was going, but our O-line decided that today is the day that they are Swiss cheese. All right, it is 3rd and very long, as we're probably just going to, you know, honestly toss this thing up and see what we can get, or see if Noah Fant gets open. And here, I just didn't see anywhere to go, and we take a sack by Bradley Chubb, and offensively, this is a nightmare. Now, as I've mentioned before, I'm not the type of guy that you're going to watch that forces a ball somewhere if I don't believe it's going to be open. I don't throw a lot of picks, but also it does mean that I don't necessarily get a ton of huge plays. Because I don't take the ginormous risk as Ernest Jones is going to step right in front of Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill's going to chase him down. There's no way he's scoring. There's no way. But man, he brings us up nice and close with a great play as Ernest Jones continues to be a monster for our team. Of course, we are going to see if we can get this run game going, but our offensive line has definitely been letting us down this game so far. And man, that's going to be a hold. There's going to be a hold on this play. And sure enough, that's exactly what we're going to see. And it is Noah Fant, the guilty party, as our tight end lets us down on that play. Now here, we're going to see if we get something open. But, you know, our pass game has been a little rough, as I'm just going to dump it down and see what Pharaoh Brown can get in the way of yards, as he makes it a 2nd and 15 instead of a 1st and 20. Which, you know, we can't hold the ball too long. We're getting beat up front, and we just got to get the ball out quick. Bench concept, of course, as the game, apparently we are going to get this one off our list, as my computer decides now is the time to talk about an update instead of not when I'm in the middle of a game. So how about you remind me tomorrow? We'll go ahead and hop back into the game, as apparently we threw an incomplete pass. Apparently we got the ball off. You could have fooled me. All right, obviously here we're looking for Jackson Smith or Tyler Lockett. Possibly, no, we're probably not going to see Fant, but we want to see one of them, as I do believe we can get it over the top, and no, he stuck with him. I thought maybe we could air that thing out just a little bit, get it over our linebacker, and man, we are not having a game. I'm obviously very disappointed. By this time in the other games, we had already scored multiple touchdowns. We've kicked 2 field goals, but our defense is bailing us out. Feeling very much like the real-life Seahawks right now. In fact, I believe this game in real life started very similarly. As I user Ernest Jones and whiffed the tackle, but I got support. Now we're going to hopefully continue to play good ball on defense, but we need better performance on offense for sure, as Ernest Jones is going to get blocked, and they're going to get decent yardage there, and by decent I mean very good yardage on that first down run. 9 yards. Here I do believe they might try to run the ball, and that is what they're going to do. I don't believe that was a pass by definition, so Braxton Berrios is going to lose a yard on the ground. And here, we're going to do the same thing, where we're going to man blitz and just shade over the top to make sure that we don't get beat. And, oh, I whiffed the tackle, but they're not going to give him the first? I don't know, man. I know I'm the other team, but I'm not sure that's not a first down. And they're going to punt. You know, 4th and inches from your 37. I don't know if I would ever punt in that scenario. 4th and inches, trust your guys up front, man. But, you know, I appreciate it. I get the ball, and we're going to try to make something happen, as so far we've been kind of lackluster. Now, they have definitely met us in the run game so far, as the holes just haven't been there. They've been letting guys through, and that's another example of exactly that, as it looked like someone went completely unblocked on that play. Here, I'm going to roll out, and we're going to get no one. I could have waited for Metcalf, but I feel like that was just waiting to be a throw out of sack. And honestly, man, our wide receivers are not finding separation, and that is concerning, because we have 2 amazing wide receivers and a pretty great tight end as well. And here, we're going to step up and get that first down and then slide. As I saw wide open green grass as they played everything at the line of scrimmage, but forgot about good old Geno Smith, who for some reason has like 88 speed or like 89 speed. Where did that come from? I don't know. Of course, we are running the ball on first down. And finally, we pop off a pretty good run as Kenneth Walker already has 12 rushes for 59, and we want to keep the legs churning. So far, this play hasn't gotten me anything, but maybe eventually, as I'm going to test it here on the sideline. And DK's just going to drop the pass. He's just going to drop it. I'm not even going to call that a breakup because that was in his hands and well out of position to be knocked out. That's on him. Here, DK is going to be open. We're going to hit him, and he's going to drop it again. DK has been an absolute liability in this game. As so far, he can't find separation, and he's dropped 2 balls. And clearly, Ball Dee has seen enough as he has pulled DK from this play. He's going to let the other guys try to get some time in as maybe they can make something happen. And we're going to ill-advised throw across our body because I forgot that there was a delay route. And we do pick up the first down. And yeah, DK's in the doghouse right now. And sure enough, he is still not on the field. And we're going to get Smith and Jigba involved early, and he's going to get some good blocks. He's going to do a great juke move and pick up the first for us. We got to get a little creative in our play calling, and he is up to the task. Now, Ball Dee finally allowed Metcalf back onto the field as he feels he has paid rightful restitutions. And Ken's going to pick up good first down yardage. Now, can DK get open? No. So we're going to go underneath, and that was just too fast. We have to watch a replay on that. How in the world do you allow pressure that quickly as I drop back, and we have 2 guys blocking, and who do we have here? Is this Satel Lamea? No, it's Christian Haynes just completely gets blocked by his own guy, though it's more apt to say that he blocked himself with his own guy and just doesn't even get hands on who do we have here? Is this Lawrence. So terrible blocking continues to be an issue in this game, especially in the passing game. Now here I do see Lockett open off the line, and we're gonna hit him, and he's going to get us that first down. As my dogs go crazy in the background, they're playing. You can see one. There's Acorn as the green screen has fallen over in the background at some point. Here, I thought he was playing the running back, but he actually played Geno, who fumbles the ball, but luckily we have a man to pick it up as it looked like the read was to keep, but it looks like, he had the right read. As if we're not getting wide open there off of the snap with our bad blocking, I'm getting that ball out ASAP. As our offense continues to stink, we gotta hopefully make something happen. As there's wide open grass in front, and we're gonna take off, and Geno's gonna score. Touchdown, Seahawks. Geno Smith makes up for his bad read and fumble, which was picked up, and they make the Dolphins pay for letting us keep that ball. We're going to kick this ball off as now we have a 2-score lead. Finally. And we make a good tackle. They're up at the 26. And obviously we're hoping that our defense can continue to play pretty well. The Dolphins made a very questionable decision on the last drive as they punted on 4th and inches from, pretty far up the field. So, who knows how different things could have been if they decided to go for it. All right, as we're going to see a stretch play, he finds the hole, picks up just enough to get him that first down, and they're going to probably try to rely on the run game a bit more, as we are on an interception streak across our 3 games. As I think so far we have a combined 8 interceptions through 3 weeks, which is crazy. We have been absolutely the quarterback's worst nightmare, as Rayshawn Jenkins gets lost in coverage. What was he doing? As he allowed Tyreek Hill to run right past him. Here we are in the replay. As you can see, Rayshawn Jenkins is in an appropriate spot, but he needs to be moving as he's flat-footed, and then he runs up the field instead of covering one of these two guys, which obviously the read here is because you can see this player break before he even starts running up the field. You see he's going backwards. Cover the guy in front of you. Even here, you have a chance. You see he's right in front of you. But instead, you decide to keep running up the field, which allows you to be out of position, and Tyreek Hill just burns you for a massive gain, and that's 100% on Rayshawn Jenkins, as he is the sole reason that our defense just gave up a major, major play. Now, what I just heard from the game is Tyreek Hill has been injured on that play, and so obviously that's huge for us. I would never wish injury on a real-life player, but this is a game, so thank goodness. As Devin Witherspoon's going to make a great tackle through the block. And it looks like there might have been another injury on that play. Of course, newly upgraded Devin Witherspoon, obviously just a monster in real life, and hopefully he can be a monster in the game as well, as Rayshawn Jenkins takes out a little bit of his frustration on that tackle. Now, they're on the 3rd and goal, and my goal here is to keep them... use forget what I was saying. We're going to stop him from scoring is what I'm saying. As 4th and goal from the 1, and it's a very short one at that. I imagine that is an inch. I am watching this, and I don't know if that's not a touchdown. I think the Dolphins have kind of been... They've kind of caught the bad end of the refereeing on this game is, man, that's rough. And they kick instead of going for it from the inch line. All right. So far, we've seen some really questionable coaching by the Dolphins coach, who I believe it should still be Mike, but you never know. Madden gets crazy. Could have fired him week 1 for some strange reason, as we're going to pick up 2 yards, and we're just looking to kind of tick down this first half and reconvene, as our team dreadfully needs to talk about blocking. We are going to try to run the ball here on 2nd down, as I didn't see a pass play I really liked. And honestly, I'm going to run right into the blocker. Or not the blocker. I can't talk right now because honestly, I'm a bit frustrated with this offense, man. It has not been the type of day we want to see out of our offense, especially because I know what they're capable of. And here, we got to make something happen. Now, I do see our tight end. It looks like he could make that play, but we've had some drops today. So I'm just going to take the guaranteed yardage. I knew Geno could get to the outside and make it happen. Now, my goal is, if we can get it, I would love to get a mobile QB in the draft. I love playing Madden with a mobile QB. Obviously, you see me scramble a lot, look for holes to run through. It's an extension of the run game, and I'm all in for that. Now, we are going to go direct snap to Kenneth Walker here and try to pick up this 2. And he's got it, and maybe if he could have made a little move, he might have even made a man miss, gone even further. Now, the question is, can we get this snap off? No, because you can't hurry your guys up for some reason. That is the 2-minute warning. This game is almost halfway over. Now, I am very nervous about coming out in spread, in 5-wide. And Geno just misfires for some reason to a wide open Tyler Lockett. What is going on with our offense? Now here, Geno misses him again. Geno has forgotten how to throw a football, and it has made us pay. Geno Smith with 2 horrible throws causes us to be at 3rd and 10 instead of making good progress down the field. Now he's going to make up for it by hitting Tyler Lockett, and Kenneth Walker thinks he's too good to block, but it's still good yardage. All right, here we are. As we're going to try to make them pay for allowing us to continue. I almost threw to B, but, you know, back across the field almost always ends up being a terrible decision, so I had to stop myself. Now, we're going to try to get him here, as Ken's going to be open, and Geno doesn't overthrow him by a mile. Yippee! Now, we are ticking down this clock just the way I kind of want it to be. Now, Lockett might be open here off this slant, and he's not, but JSN's going to be open on the curl, which is fine. Gets us closer, and we continue to chunk yardage. Here, I'm looking for a tight end, and we get him, and Fant's going to drop the ball. He had the touchdown, and we are dealing with another drop. Our receivers and tight ends cannot hold on to the ball to save their lives today. As I'm going to take a sack, and we're going to kick another field goal, as I am incredibly disappointed by the way our offense has performed. As I was a bit shook by that drop touchdown by Noah Fant, who is typically more sure-handed. All right, and we kick it off to them. They have 40-some seconds to make something happen, and they're going to start at the 26, so it's going to be tough sledding if they want to get down the field quickly. All right, as Tua's going to take a sack, and they didn't even say who it was, as I was honestly taking a drink of water as that play was occurring, so sorry you missed it. But someone got a sack there. Don't know who, but good job, team. All right, as we are going to try to cover Tyreek Hill, as honestly, he had his guy toasted. And maybe we take a timeout here and see if we could get something on a punt return if we can stop him. We are going to guess pass, 3rd and 8. You know, obviously you could possibly think about... Oh, my goodness, as Devin Witherspoon just absolutely makes him regret ever catching that ball. We're going to see if we can make him pay on a punt return here. As Tyler Lockett's our return man, which is a throwback to when he used to do that, but not really anymore. We're just going to take a couple shots. If we throw a pick, oh well. I know it'd be the first pick of the season for us, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about the stats. As I'm going to see if we can get someone open here deep. And we kind of do. And, oh, I held my breath because I didn't know if they get there in time, and they do. And, man, that could have been huge. If Lockett could have just been, or if the throw was just a bit further out or Lockett was a bit faster, a combination of something, we could have had something awesome, as that's going to be an underthrow and probably picked off. And it gets swatted down, which I'm fine with that result. I was fine with the pick, too, as long as we make the tackle. And we got to talk to our guys about being better blockers. We are going to continue to have run inside be our main focus. And we are going to continue... we're going to continue to defend the pass. Our run defense is doing fine. They're not really running the ball that much. And we just need that help to make sure that we can continue to win this game. Our defense has definitely played very complimentary. And, man, Ernest Jones in the special teams has just been wicked with the tackles so far. Now, here I do imagine they're probably going to run the ball, so we're going to look to stop that, as they don't, and I bit. And Rayshawn Jenkins, once again, plays very far behind his man, covering no one, and he has been an absolute liability in coverage. Now, could I have helped there? Yes, but... Based upon the zone, you know, that is definitely something that our guys in the back got to be ready for. Is Tyrese Knight is there, you know, played decent coverage. Now we got to make sure that we are, you know, that Rayshawn Jenkins doesn't continue to get bullied in this game, as that does appear to be the case, as in man coverage, we have a guy get wide open in man coverage. Someone must have got caught or rubbed. Something must have happened, because that is just not something you want to see in man coverage. And he goes down as Byron Murphy is honestly a bit of a wrecking ball in this game so far. Now, 2nd and 18, I can definitely see them passing the ball here, so I'm going to guess pass, and that's what we're going to see. As they're going to go for the screen, and we get a great tackle by, who is that there? I can't see the number. Was that Tyrese Knight? I do believe that was Tyrese Knight, who has also been really great on our team so far. Our linebackers and, of course, Kobe Bryant, who's playing safety as sub-linebacker, has... they've really done a great job as Ernest Jones is going to make sure that thing doesn't go much further. We are going to try to block it, see if we can keep our lead and take over where they're at, or possibly even return. And we're not going to get the block animation, and it's good. Now, we get to see our offense and see if they have made the proper adjustments, to be successful in the second half, as so far we have 1 touchdown and multiple field goals. We're not going to get anything on special teams. You know, it looked like we might have had something there for a second, but it is what it is. All right, we are going to give the ball to Kenneth Walker to start this thing off, see if we can get those blocks. And we get some pretty decent blocks, and Kenneth Walker is going to make this 2nd and inches. Now, here is where me personally, I would love to take a shot. I would adore to take a shot right here. Especially because I'm convinced we could just come out and convert. Now, I don't like any of the shots I saw. I'm just going to check down because I don't know. I want to make sure nothing bad happens. I was thinking DK if you were telling me throw it to DK. But the game's closer than you think it is. This is all Madden. They love to make you pay. And so I am a very, very careful player when it comes to turnovers. Does that end up being a detriment to me sometimes? Yes. Like here, I roll out to the complete wrong side because I was distracting myself with my constant yapping. Sorry. Here, can JSN just get past him? And it just gets tapped fingertips as I wanted to thread that thing in there for JSN. Oh, it could have been great. It could have been great. That is not a throw I typically try to make. But, hey, we got to have some fun sometimes. As, no, our offense does not show off anything coming out of half. As Ernest Jones looks like he's in discomfort, which would be a massive loss. All right, they are going to come out and play action, which typically means that boy Amafe is going to get a sack, and he's going to continue his great streak. And, yeah, we are not risking Ernest Jones. He's going to go ahead and be substituted, and Tyrese Knight's going to take over in his duties. As, man, we cannot lose that guy. He is too valuable to our team. They're going to run this very strange stretch/cheat motion. Yeah. And Geno Smith is going to the tunnel, and that's tough, as they have to try to work with a 3rd and 19 here. They're going to go screen, which real-life Seahawks, that would go for about 57 yards, and what I'm saying is Seattle cannot defend a screen to save their life. Anyways, let's return this ball and hopefully make something happen. As Lockett is going to sit back to return. We're going to get some blocks, and no, just nothing. But we are up past midfield, which is great. We're going to come out and see if we can run this read option and hopefully not make the terribly wrong read this time. And it doesn't look like we're going to make a read at all, as our read key is just not going to bite. And it looks like we have an injury. As, man, we cannot get out of our own way right now when it comes to injuries. And Kenneth Walker is going to pick up some great yardage. He's up past 100 yards already. And I love it. I love it. If we can constantly keep our running backs over 100 yards, it means that we're causing damages. Ken's going to be open. And that is a touchdown. Kenneth Walker wide open on the wheel route. As I look to scramble and extend the play, and Laken Tomlinson somehow is back in the game after I told him to sit on the bench. Get on the bench! Touchdown Seahawks. We make a great play offensively, and now we have a pretty good lead, but you cannot become complacent when you're playing the all-Madden difficulty CPU. As special teams, so far we've been pretty solid on special teams, but you never know when they're going to just pop one. Now, Ernest Jones is on the field, and that is awfully concerning. I might go into the depth chart after this play and make sure that he gets out of this game, as he makes a great play, and I'm so sad to see him not be on the field, as I know how great he can be, but I just cannot risk this man not playing in the upcoming weeks. Tyrese Knight, you're taking over. Make sure we go to our sub linebacker and make sure Ernest Jones gets replaced by Tyrese Knight and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, we just cannot risk losing that guy. And sure enough, Tyrese Knight and Kobe Bryant are going to take over on those linebacking duties. And, if he would have had another second to throw that ball, it was... I believe that Tyreek Hill is going to be wide open as we get another sack on the day. And we are bullying these Dolphins. Had some coverage sacks, and we've had some just classical sacks as well, as they're going to go over the middle, and I tried to absolutely make sure it was a hospital pass, but I should have made sure I was lined up correctly. But it's still going to be a punt on 4th down. All right. See if maybe we can finally make something happen here, and I'm going to spin out, and nope. Special teams is not our expertise on this team, apparently. Oh, great blocking as Ken's going to get out. And I tried to juke, kind of cut in between both players, but wasn't meant to be. But hey, you can't complain about yards like that. Now, DK has done absolutely nothing in this game so far, I believe. I want to get him involved, as I'm going to take a shot, and it's going to be throw out a sack, and it's picked off. And our blocking is once again the cause of our woes, as Tyrell Dodson, former Seahawk, is going to get the pick. Now, what happened? Because let's not look here yet, because what I saw was DK Metcalf, he's hip to hip, and he, is not too far down the field. He's going to toast his man. He really is. Now, what happens here is, we're in the pocket. We don't go too far back. Maybe a little further back than we should. We shouldn't be taking that many steps back. But Charles Cross just gets bullied by Robinson. I mean, he lets him way out to the outside. His arms get tucked under him. And Robinson's going to get this huge hit on, which honestly, Abraham Lucas lost just as bad on the other side, which allowed Geno Smith to get sandwiched. And yeah, that's just an easy interception for Terrell Dodson. Now Geno Smith has thrown his first pick of the year, and we got to address our offensive line. I think next episode, we're going to look for trades. We're going to see if we can bolster, because I believe we have a playoff team right now. As he's going to go out of bounds on his own and not try to pick up extra yardage. Tyler Lockett would respect it. As they're going to send motion, and I kind of bite on it. And yeah, they're just in prime position to score here. I cannot blame DK or Geno. That is 100% on our offensive line. Like I said, maybe I took one or two steps too far back, but that's just got to be a much better block. As we are going to see him, I bet you he was probably going to try to throw that crosser there, but it's just going to be a throwaway, which in the pocket, I'm not sure if there was a receiver nearby. I'm going to assume there was, but a lot of throws out of the pocket, some questionable. Now we're going to try to make sure we cover over the middle and our mid-zone. As he forces a fumble, Reek Woolen absolutely laid the shoulder, caused the fumble, but it's going to go straight out of bounds. But that is a forced fumble on the stat sheet for Reek Woolen. That was a great tackle. All right, here, man, they've just been, of course, consistent to real life. A lot of cheat motion, making sure that they get their guys moving around a lot in different matchups. And that was a good example of a well-executed cheat motion, as almost a screen, almost designed to be a block by the wide receiver in front of him. As did I just hear Eskridge? D. Eskridge? And that's a touchdown. He is wide open. Braxton Berrios has scored wide open in a zone where there was not even a man close to where they should have been playing their zone. That's one of my major complaints about this game is I understand match concept. I do. But you're still responsible for your zone. You can't just You know, if you're responsible for the flat, you're not going to be covering a 30-yard play. You know what I mean? Like, be knowledgeable about who's crossing through your zone. And we're up by 10. So, you know, 2-score game, but we cannot allow them to gain momentum, which we have as Lumea is also hurt. And we continue to have injuries up front, which hurt so bad. Play action has not been our thing, though I keep trying to make it happen. As what do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do? As who is this? Is this Sundell? It is. Where's Olu? Olu apparently has been injured, and Sundell loses immediately. And I mean embarrassing. And good thing he is not our long-term center, because that is just embarrassing as Geno gets hit immediately. Just got out of the play action animation. And right there, it gives me the option to throw the ball, and he is in my ear telling me some secrets. Man, our blocking has been abysmal. We need, one, better blocking, but also, two, we need better players. As DK's open, and just another ball. And we have broken ribs from Lumea, so he's going to be gone for the rest of, basically until trade deadline, I imagine. And that ball was not thrown well, I'll say that. But it's another chance for DK to show what he's got. And it's just another ball that, you know, touches his hands that hits the ground. I'm obviously very disappointed. We should, with our drives, we should be doing much better. The blocking is a major reason we've had way too many 3rd and longs. You cannot win games when you're on 3rd and 17s, 3rd and 20s, 3rd and 27. There's no way. You know, when you're having to make up 2 first down distances or more, no football team is capable of constantly doing that. It's just not a thing. As he could have hit his check down, but ultimately does not. As decisions continue to be a question mark for the Dolphins. And maybe we can get this ball back and then try to make them pay. And we just need good tackling here. And it took 4 guys to get him down. And that is not what I mean when I say good tackling. Now they are going to punt. We're going to get the ball. But this could be us getting forced into a bad spot. And it's going to be at the 9. So, you know, you really don't want to start back here. But it's better than starting on your own goal line. Now we're going to try to gash them with a screenplay. But these have been very unsuccessful today. And I'm not going to say it was unsuccessful. But it definitely wasn't great. As Kenneth Walker, I think, might be our leading receiver on the day. Which, hate that. Hate that. And Jackson Smith-Njigba says he is too good to block that linebacker. Runs upfield to block the safety who, quite honestly, wasn't even part of the play. As, once again, keyword blocking. Blocking. It's been bad. As Kenneth is going to pick up the first. But when we have to pass, you know, I want our passing game to be good. But when you get less than a second to throw the ball, you're never going to be successful as we got to get these out quick. Got to get them out quick. Now we're going to let this tick down, go to the 4th quarter, reconvene, and hopefully try to salt the clock away. Here we are as we're going to come out in I form, have Pharaoh Brown try to block ahead of us, and hopefully get something to happen here. And it was decent blocking, but Charles Cross does need to get up to the 2nd level a bit quicker. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I want to go play action. If this gets blown up right away, I'm not running another play action for the rest of the game. But I just have a feeling it could be good. It could be. And I hate it. I hate that read. I know for a fact that corner is going to drop down and pick that ball off if I try to get crazy and throw that thing in there. So play action. Didn't get blown up, but nothing off of it. We are going to run the ball, so backwards on 1st and 2nd down and 3rd and 8. Another time where we need to be in 3rd and manageable. It's just the only way for you to be successful on offense is be good at converting short distance. But if you can't get in a short distance in the first place, as DK does have a step, and he finally comes down with one, and that's a huge play as we finally get DK to beat his guy and get deep as he picks up major yardage, and that is going to help his stat line as that's going to help make up for some of that missed yardage earlier in the game. As Jackson Smith and Jigba get some great blocks from the outside from his fellow wide receivers and running back, and that's a passing touchdown and a, of course, receiving touchdown. And that is going to help us feel a little bit more comfortable as we're up 17, so now we are up 3 scores. Much more comfortable in the fourth quarter. We kicked the ball off, and our defense has still been really good. I can't remember how we gave up the touchdown. Oh yeah, Braxton Berrios wide open. But other than that, we've had a great day defensively. So it appears that is going to continue to be a strong spot for our team. As Tua's going to try to scramble, and remember that joke I made at the beginning of the game? Digital Tua knows how to slide. He's not going to end up being out for the season. What do you want me to say? Anyways, as Julian Love allows Tyreek Hill to get prime positioning on him. Doesn't allow him to get much further than that, but that's still way too much yardage to give up. I'm going to forgive him because it's Tyreek Hill. But that wasn't his best showcase. As I tried to bait the throw to Jalen Waddle there, and luckily Digital Tua decides not to toss that thing. All right. And kind of a wacky play here is, he's going to go down for the 5th time. And, man, our line has been getting after it. Our secondary has been getting picks. Our linebackers have been doing it all. This defense can be so good. It really can, as, it's just a good route, good play by the tight end there, but I'm going to continue to sing praises of our team, our defense, because, man, they've definitely deserved it. As that's an illegal man downfield, most certainly. And sure enough, that's what they're going to call, is their offensive line was basically entirely down the field at that point. All right. Dude. Okay, so if you couldn't hear it, what the announcer just said was they could have called it on a couple of guys, and that is 100% true. Like I said, their entire line was out blocking for the run. He threw the ball just much too late. Now, they're getting kind of close. They are now in the red zone, and I hate that. Because, obviously I've been singing the defense's praise this entire drive, and I would hate to see him give up a touchdown here, as we have another 3rd down, but it's a 3rd and short. But he comes out empty, which is strange. And, what a wacky decision by him. Mike McDaniel and the offensive coordinator there, as they are going to go for it finally, and this might be the one where they finally get us. But Julian Love's going to be turned around. Can I see that? Hang on, let's look at the replay. Not turned around, but definitely not in good position to make a play, as he couldn't decide which guy to cover. Oh well. That sucks, but it is what it is. And we're going to guess run here. I don't care if it's a pass. We're selling out for this run. And it is a pass. And instead of throwing it right away, he waits and tosses an absolute mallard out of the back of the end zone instead of the wide open touchdown to one of his 5 guys. And he is going to get blown up in the backfield. Leonard Williams makes first contact, and then he doesn't get much further than that, as he did bounce off the first tackle, but then nothing. Now here, they got to contend with a 3rd and goal, but it's a 3rd and long goal. And that's a pick. He throws it straight to Reek Woolen, who needs to go down. And he does. Whew, that could have been bad. Yeah, he threw that straight to Reek, so we are going to continue on the multi-interception streak. We have picked off so many different players at this point. We have multiple players with 2 or more, And it's exactly what you want to see is I didn't try to do that. He just kind of bounced off the block. I should be chewing clock right now, but I forgot to put it on, so we'll put it on after this play, which is the trap. And yeah, as he has 28 rushes, we are heavily relying on the run game so far because our offensive line has not been able to block for the passing game, which I know that sounds crazy. You're like, oh, run game's working perfectly fine. Let's get the passing game working. It's like, no, if your running game really was unstoppable, you would probably run the ball a lot and not complain too much. But obviously, in a video game, you want to have fun. And of course, I think running the ball is fun. But, you like those flashy plays. You like them. Let's try to get kind of creative here. Come out in that wide receiver mid-screen. As we'll have to come out in it after the 2-minute warning. All right, here we are in that mid-screen, and this might just be man coverage, which if it is, that's bad. It's not, so we are going to get it out to that screen, and Darden isn't going to be able to get much yardage off of it. As I believe that's Darden's first reception of the year so far, which is, it's good that we can get him involved, as I'm going to have Kenneth Walker make a cut, and we're not gonna get the first down. Now, we could come out here and try to seal it, but let's try to make something crazy happen. Let's backspin this thing, see if it can bounce off the back of a Dolphin, because video games are funny. And yes, he's in prime position to get that thing bounced off of him, but but our player's gonna go ahead and get it right where it's at. I don't know if you guys have had that happen, but I've had it happen multiple times where I put backspin on a punt and it absolutely just barely touches the back of the returner or any of the players on the other team. And of course, by definition, that's a turnover if we pick it up. So we retain possession of the ball if that happens. And is he going to try to throw it? Oh, he's going to throw it underneath to a guy I didn't even know was out there. He's going to pick up a single yard, and the clock's going to continue to tick, so I am perfectly happy with that result. All right, here, everything's covered up, and he's just going to have to throw that ball away as he's barely outside the tackle box. If we would have had another second, that would have been a sack. But obviously, we're looking to kind of pad the stats here, see if maybe we can get another pick. Which would be pretty cool. And that is not what's going to happen. In fact, it swapped me to the wrong player, and it's going to be a touchdown for Tyreek Hill. I just got to see what happened. All right. So I wanted them to swap me to, like Reek. But what they instead did was swap me to the already trailing and terrible player that is Trey Brown, who, after this game, he's gone. He's cut. Or traded, possibly. I might even include it in this episode. I have despised Trey Brown. He has been an absolute liability in this franchise. And honestly, he's gone. But it swapped me to him. I turned around, but he would have been toast anyways. But once again, we came out in a zone coverage, and we got to have better deep coverage. Our prime guys can't always be on the field. And therefore, we need our depth guys to be able to, do their jobs, basically. Now here, the hands team is going to pick it up no problem, and we're just going to kneel this thing out and say goodbye, Miami. And here we are, 30-20 is going to be your final score. We'll look at some stats, and then I think I have one more thing for you. Now, for some reason, Miami's going to take their timeouts because bad feelings, I guess, hard feelings. I don't know. It's impossible for them to win. So at this point, it is just completely out of spite for them to take timeouts. But here is the game. As now, obviously, we are going to completely despise the Miami Dolphins as we are going to look to destroy their franchise. Don't make me extend the game. Just don't. All right, here's our stats of the day. Two touchdowns, 2 picks, completed 76% of his passes. Now, here is where we had major struggles. We threw the ball 35 times, much more than we have in the previous ones. Only 48% of passes complete. We had a lot of drops today, some bad passes, some tepid, some passes I could have made, but was a bit intimidated. And of course, that one throw out of sack. Now, rushing, Kenneth Walker was not our problem. 31 rushes, 173 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. Geno puts up 46 on the ground. Not the issue. Here's the issue, is receiving. We had 2 drops by DK, a drop by Fant, a drop by Lockett. We had Kenneth Walker as our leading receiver on the day. If you don't see that as a problem, you might need to get your eyes checked, because that is a very easy to see problem. Metcalf gets the 1 reception, obviously targeted 3 different times, I think 4, even 4, and just 1 ends up in his hands. Yeah, we just got completely outplayed. Now, my problem so far is, we have a really great receiver in Jackson Smith and Jigba, but he has yet to get any yards in any of our games so far. And it's not by not trying, but simply just because he's just not getting open. Now, here's where it's bad. Sundell allows a sack. Cross allows a sack. Olu allows a sack. Tomlinson allows a sack. That is bad. Now, sacks for us were great. Boye Mafe, 1.5. Jonathan Hankins gets involved. Byron Murphy got involved. Derek Hall. And Jaron Reed, who is going to quickly make his way out of the building with no hard feelings. Anyways, I have one last thing for you. All right, and here's our trade. As I mentioned, can't stand Trey Brown. Got rid of him, and Jaron Reed is going to go with him. Traded to the Panthers for a 3rd and 2 fourths from this year, which obviously is going to be a big help with continuing to allow us to have depth pieces and possible gems later in the draft. So we'll see what we got, but especially as we get further and further, we are going to focus more on the prospects, but we're so early in that nothing has unlocked. We have 0% on everything, basically. Not worth looking at quite yet. So as we get later into the season, that's when we'll start scouting a lot. But here's our final trade to end us off. And if you're really enjoying this, please let me know any suggestions you have for wheel spins or things you'd like to see happen. Or sliders. Once again, we have won a game. We're 3-0. Not usually how these things go with most people. But hey, we haven't played the toughest competition yet. That being said, this is Madden Storylines. I'm Bald Tyler. This is Bald Sports. I'll see you next time. Bye.